gonna be a little bit of recap. I want to re-show some video footage of the car racing. No different than the last one. If you just want no talking from me, just look at my last video and you'll see nothing but the passes that the Nova did. But I'm just gonna talk a little bit about those just only 2 passes I made, and may encountered a problem which may result in the motor actually coming out of the car. So I'll show you the first pass now. All right, so that pass was a 1059 153 60 footer, sits 7 to the 8th. It's kind of a dog, to be honest with you, and you can't hear it, but in that pass it was like hiccuping a little bit while I was going down through there, and I changed the spark plugs on the motor, and I went to a standard style plug. I had a cold style plug, so the insulator is sitting below. Long story short, the domes of the piston was just enough, touching the spark plugs just enough to start closing the gap. By the time I came back from making that pass, pretty much I had 2 or 3 plugs where the gap was almost closed already. You know, I could probably fit, I didn't feeler gauge it out, but I mean, we're talking about 10 thou, you know, the gap was closed. So yeah, that was no good. I had to unhook the trailer, ran to the auto parts store, and then got the right plugs. Well, you know, a colder plug that's a little bit shorter, and that, you know, did the trick. It pulled it away far away enough that it didn't touch the dome. So check. Note to self, I need to make sure I put the right plugs in it and make sure that they don't make contact with anything. The second problem, well, then I made my second pass right after I changed the spark plugs. And I do note, in that pass, as you see towards the, as I'm going down, it's smoking. All right, make the second pass. It's getting a little darker. The boards, you know, you saw the boards in that pass, and that pass was this one right here, a 1045 at 128. So it matched its old best. A little less mile an hour on both 8th and in the quarter. Same 60 footer, 149. It slowed there too. Opinion, not very impressive at the 60. I went to go make another pass, but it was getting dark. It just a bunch of little things were going wrong, and I was like, it's better to end it today than to keep pushing it and then something go wrong. I also noticed that my number 5 plug was oily. All the other plugs were fine, and this is the first time that it always huffed a little bit of smoke on the driver's side, but this is the first time I saw evidence of oil. So that is, you know, no bueno, not very good. But the engine is still technically making power. Sounds good. Um, I didn't try that polymer racing spacer. I was going to do it for that third pass. I switched it on. It's on there right now. And what I could tell you is it makes more power now, at least low end power, or the signal to the carburetor is better. So it's building a little bit more low end torque because the stall is higher. Before, I would get 52, 5300 stall on the trans brake if I didn't have the, without the two step. And now it's 56, 57. So it actually, that spacer made me a believer. I haven't made a pass with it, but it made an improvement already. The problem is it's smoking. And I did the whole, did a compression test. It compression tested perfectly fine. It was all the cylinders are 215, 220. Okay, that's great. I did a leak down test in that hole. And then, a couple next to it, 6% leak down. It's good. So, I ran through with a couple trusted guys I know, engine guys. And I think we came to a conclusion that most likely it's an oil ring. Oh, mind you, I did change the valve seal on that hole. I changed the valve seal. The valve cover bolt actually is exposed in that cylinder, so I siliconed it to make sure there was no oil getting in there, and I know that there's no vacuum leaks. It's not a vacuum leak. It's not sucking in oil from the gasket. So it's definitely, and then from day one, this motor always kind of did that. And a little recap on this motor. I built this motor for my Chevette that's covered in stuff right now. And I never got to run it. When I put the motor in the car, I went to turn it on and it wouldn't fire. The long story short, the race gas that was in it had gone bad, and it must have watered out. That's because when I was cranking the motor, you actually hear it chirping, and when I pulled the motor apart, it looked like they got water damage, but the motor was fresh. So it seemed like the gas deteriorated and turned to almost water. That's the only way I could say. And from that, and that was before I even fired. Fast forward, all I did was re-oil everything up, slap everything back together, and then this motor sat for I think about 2 years before I even fired it again. So my suspicions is that most likely because of that dry, you could say dry start, I think I might have messed up a ring or oil control ring in that cylinder. I stuck a camera in there, and the cylinder walls look good, but you can see that there's oil in there. And I did everything I can to make sure that there's no oil in that hole from anywhere else. And it's definitely, like I said, it's coming from the bottom. So the question is, what do I go? What do I do from here? I still want to run a 9 with this motor because I know this motor could do it. Just fixing that cylinder may help. Like I said, that polymer racing product spacer, I'm a believer. That I think that will help at least with the 60 footer with this thing, because this thing didn't 60 foot well, and maybe that cylinder has to do with it. Getting oil in the cylinder on the brake, maybe it's not that happy, and you can say I'm running on 7.5 cylinders, let's say. I know that if I do another set of Sportsman 2s, that, the evolution of you as a person and, as a mechanic, I know I could build a better set of cylinder heads now than I did when I did those 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Uh, so the different set of heads, freshen this motor up. This motor will run well into the nines. But so that my season doesn't get too stagnated, I'm think that I might have to put that 406 together. I have the bib lock still, but before I put a bib lock in the car and had to buy headers and spending a lot of other money, I have almost everything for this 406 other than just a couple odds and ends, maybe head gaskets. That's it. Mostly just like little odds and ends. I have everything else. So if I bolt this 406 together, um, and just send it, the 406 will be faster than this motor. I think I will easily get into the nines with this combination. The only thing that sucks is that, and the 406 is a spare part build too. It's mostly used stuff, and maybe I could do a more video talking about how you get good deals or how you look for stuff. Maybe that would help my channel too. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm most likely gonna put a 406 together and slap her in there. The 406 is gonna have a set of Dragon Slayer heads. I would like to do a port job in that, but other than put a bigger 2100 valve and quick bulwark, what I could do in a few hours, that's all I'm gonna do, because I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just want to put it together, run it, and have fun for the rest of the season. The only thing is, if the car does run as quick as I expect it to, most likely I will be doing more eighth mile stuff, because I only have an 8-point roll bar in a Nova, and by the time I get 10-point and get it certified, and this season's over. So I think that's where we're at. We're gonna put this 406 together. Don't mind it's there on the back. I might do. I want to do a full build-up video, like I posted prior. But like now, I'm a little bit more pressed for time because I do want to go racing. So let me. The block is prepped. It's a 2-bolt deal. It's a 511 block. If you would have seen this block before I had it blasted, you would think that this block should have went straight to the scrapyard. This block was all rust, and I had it blasted. And then the guys at Sinto, they Anthony at Sinto did all the machine work, decked it, honed it, checked it. Everything turned out to be pretty good. But this block is bare. I got it back. I still need to pull all the plugs in it, clean out any burrs. So there's still work to be done here. That's why I said that, maybe this video won't be as detailed as I wanted to. So just so that we get some runs at the end of the season with this thing. I think, in this body, maybe 960s, maybe even a little quicker with this motor. We'll see. Like I said, the heads I'm not going to go too crazy on. They still should move, with a little bit bigger valve and a quick bowl job and clean up the head. It should float in a 310, 315 range. That should be plenty to make mid 600 horsepower and push this body well into the nines. So yeah, that's where we're at. You'll be seeing more videos from me soon. I was sick sick as a dog for probably the last 2 months, and I'm still not 100%. I have some personal things going on health wise, so it made it difficult to one not only film without hacking and coughing, and even in you pay attention inside the in-car video, you could hear me cough sometimes. I wasn't feeling well, probably hence why I only made 2 passes that day too. Um, but I'm getting better. I'm tracking in the right direction, and I hopefully we get some better content, and you know give you something to like, share, and subscribe about. Right now I'm working on a customer set of heads. I'm doing some port work on that. Two different customers with the same head, LS3 deal. I'm about to put it through on some guides, so maybe that'll be the next video. I show a little bit of that. So that being said, Brocha Builds, like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Thanks.